This took place October 1st in 2021. We would go to Las Vegas frequently because we only lived a few hours away in California, and we headed there for a typical excursion. I enjoyed trying new food or staying at a different hotel each time. Over the years, we've stayed at nearly every hotel on the Strip. Some of these hotels are decades old, dating back to the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, so we've understandably witnessed the occasional strange noise, smell, or bump in the night. But the strangest thing that's ever happened was at the newest hotel addition, Resorts World. Resorts World opened in June of 2021, and I was excited to stay there because it was genuinely new for both of us. It was also our first time traveling post-pandemic, so we splurged a little and stayed at the Conrad side of the hotel. This was marketed as an affordable luxury hotel. It was a beautiful room with all new technology embedded into the room to make things more convenient and fun. I couldn't have been more pleased with the room at the time. We then decided to unpack and explore the resort downstairs a bit. We did some gambling, ate dinner, and then I headed to my room upstairs to get ready for bed. While I did that, my boyfriend stayed downstairs at the resort to do some more gambling and drinking. He usually stays up a lot later than me, so this was pretty normal. While I was laying in bed on my phone, I started to hear noises. Most of the noises were common hotel noises like pipes in the wall, bumps from the floor above, and even plumbing when another room starts their shower. Standard stuff really. But some of the noises weren't normal. Mainly, I could hear creaking from the bathroom, as if someone was in there standing or walking. It was almost like they were standing at the sink getting ready for bed, moving around like a normal person. I didn't really notice it though until the sound started to creep towards me, leaving the bathroom and moving into the bedroom. It sounded like footsteps coming towards me, but they were slow and uneven. I looked up from my phone and didn't see anything. I reasoned with myself that it was nothing, but something was off. It just felt off. Like I said before, we come to Las Vegas frequently, and we've stayed at nearly every hotel, but I can tell you, I've never felt this creeped out. Nothing like this. Even though my mind was being rational, it's just the floor, it's nothing. My heart rate was going up, and I had a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. I couldn't control it. It was like something was in there with me, giving me a terrible feeling. I stared into the darkness for a few minutes, and I could still hear the steps coming closer. I was staring right at it, but there was nothing there. They were moving so slowly, and they were approaching the foot of the bed. I could feel the goosebumps on my arm, and I couldn't even blink. The footsteps stopped at the foot of the bed, and then the room fell eerily quiet, completely silent. But whatever it was still there. It was just at the foot of my bed, standing there. Was it watching me? What was its intention? My phone was frozen in my hands, and I didn't even want to look away. I was so afraid, and I didn't even know why. I don't know how much time passed with me just staring in an empty, silent hotel room, but eventually I texted my boyfriend, "Hey, can you come up to bed now? I'm getting spooked in the room by myself." He responded, "Okay." Texting him and knowing he was on his way gave me some comfort, and I tried to get my courage back and calm down. I could hear the common hotel sounds again, and that was comforting too. Perhaps the thing left while I distracted myself. When my boyfriend came up to the room, he teased me for getting spooked. We had a quick laugh and he got ready for bed. I felt better and mostly forgot about what happened. I think we both agreed the noises were just because the hotel was new and probably hasn't been lived in very much. However, one thing we both feared in every Las Vegas hotel was a break-in, so my boyfriend put his giant hydro flask water bottle in front of the entry door. It was a safety precaution. We did this at every hotel so that if someone was trying to sneak in, which happens a lot in Las Vegas, they would knock over the loud water bottle and startle us awake. Finally, we both fell asleep. I was fast asleep when something jolted me awake. It was my boyfriend thrashing out of the bed, throwing the covers back. He was yelling, "Hello? Who's there?" He rushed to his feet and headed straight for the entry door. I was still half asleep and asked him what was going on. I was squinting because the room was very bright now, but my boyfriend looked pretty distraught and didn't answer. He went to the bathroom, checked behind the door, checked behind the closet, checked behind the couch area, because it was really obvious that something had spooked him. "What happened?" I asked. "The lights turned on," he said. "Did you turn them on?" "No." "What do you mean?" "Maybe you bumped the switch in your sleep." "No." All the lights came on. Something, somehow, had triggered all the lights in our hotel room to turn on in the middle of the night. The bathroom, the bedroom, the little hallway in front of the door, everything had come on. What could have possibly switched on all these lights at once? We sat in confusion for a few moments, then tried to think clearly. Did someone try to break into our room? No, the stuff in the front of the door hadn't been moved, and the water bottle was still standing upright. Was there a master button you could press that turned on everything and it got touched on by accident? No, that couldn't have been it either. There were two separate master buttons, one for the bedroom and one for the bathroom. Was it maybe a wiring issue? After all, it was a new hotel. Maybe that sort of thing happens. We decided to call the front desk and ask. We weren't sure what to even say to the clerk on the phone, so we just told her all of our lights had turned on and woke us up, and that we hadn't pressed any light switches. She sounded pretty confused herself, and not that she could have done anything, but we asked if she wanted to send someone up to take a look at it. At this point, it was 3 or 4 in the morning, so we said no. She said okay and took note of our call and wrote down the issue. We said goodbye, hung up, and sat in silence for a while. Now we were both creeped out, but we did our best to go back to sleep. Nothing else happened, even during the witching hour of the night. But as you can imagine, we laid in bed truly puzzled about why this all happened. During all the times of our stay in Las Vegas, we'd experienced nothing like this, and we never even had an intruder in our room. We were frightened, to say the least, but we were curious as well, as we didn't know exactly what was going on, or if anyone had been there in the first place. We finally woke up and decided to immediately check out of the room after packing up all of our items. Although we were excited to stay in this luxury side of the hotel, this wasn't worth the price. The next day, we talked about what happened, but we couldn't come to any definite conclusions. To this day, I'm still very puzzled by it, and I think about it quite often. The front desk never contacted us to tell us how the issue was resolved either. It may very well be that the new hotel was still working out its wiring. But what were those eerie footsteps coming towards me in the middle of the night? Was a phantom messing with us? I wish I remembered the room number so I can request not to stay in that particular room again, just in case. As you can tell, I truly don't trust that place anymore, and I think it's rightfully so. But what makes me wonder the most is exactly what those footsteps were coming towards me. And who was it standing at the edge of the bed, watching me sleep?